How many of us discover our passions in our early adolescence? Few, but this youngster sure did. All the people scoffed at him when he bought a decrepit boat, but everyone who was laughing months later would be taken aback. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Billy Walden was not your typical young person. He didn't enjoy playing outside with his pals or playing video games. To be honest, he didn't start off with a large social circle. Despite being an introvert and having been bullied in the past, he continued to pursue his interest. Billy enjoyed nothing more than to spend hours in his workshop building something, or better yet, attempting to develop something entirely new. His life's work began when he was just 14 years old. His mother Jane was aware of his uniqueness at the time. Although she consented to his homeschooling, he refused to do nothing except lounge around. His goal was to acquire as much knowledge as he could about building. His dream was to become a skilled carpenter. Although he liked construction and even dabbled in bricklaying, joinery and carpentry were his true loves. He received praise from his tutors and accolades for his carpentry skills. However, it all began with that little child who had self-confidence and aspired to become a skilled carpenter. In addition, he was fortunate to have a mother and sister who supported some of his wild and insane ideas because they had enough faith in him. While he continued to study standard academic topics, he concentrated on joinery and carpentry. He obtained his license fast. He made the decision to truly push himself when he was 15 years old. He paid £1,500 or around $1,800 USD on eBay for a Volkswagen LT horsebox with his mother's assistance. Not only did the horsebox not run, but that was about to change. The horsebox was converted into a camper van by him. He completed everything by himself, including building the camper's furnishings to the greatest standards and doing all of the engine work. That presented an additional difficulty. Although his knowledge of engines was limited, he was keen to acquire more knowledge. A method that has been tried and proven by certain generations is watching YouTube videos to figure out how to put certain items together. In addition, he learned a lot via user manuals and trial and error. Overall, he solved the problem and repaired the camper van, making it really lovely. Even after he had done decorating it, he was still too young to obtain a driver's license or even operate a vehicle on his own. Though it required a significant amount of labor and an additional $1,200, he relished every minute of it. He was so prepared to start working on his next project right away. This time, he made the decision to build his mother and sister a vacation house. As usual, his mother supported his proposal, which was one of his crazy notions. They set out to discover the worst possible boat, and eventually they came upon one that was extremely dilapidated and in appalling shape. The family paid around £6,000, or £5,000 for the yacht, but that was only because it failed many survey tests and was unfit for habitation. If it could pass even the most basic testing, a canal boat of the same kind and size would normally cost around £12,000, or $14,500. They acquired it for a much less money because it couldn't. When people saw it, they scoffed at this little child for thinking he had any hope of restoring that rusted mess of a machine to working order. It appeared to be totally unfeasible. It was a huge endeavor, and he was still a young adolescent. Renaming the boat was the first step. Billy made the decision to give the canal boat his mother and sister's names, referring to it as Matilda Jane. After then, work had to be done. The canal boat needed almost everything to be rebuilt or repaired, both inside and out. They needed to find a ton of items Billy could patch up and make beautiful, that would fit inside the boat. For instance, they purchased windows with stained glass after taking a chance and finding them on eBay. Somehow, it got it through the mail and reached them undamaged. They looked for the remainder in odd and inventive locations, such as little antique stores. For instance, he obtained the wood for the flooring from a school gymnasium that was replacing its flooring. After that, he could refinish it and turn it into something truly exceptional. Naturally, Billy also made use of freshly cut wood from timber yards, and because to his exceptional carpentry abilities, he made many of the boat's finishings from the ground up. It seems like he put in a lot of time and effort to finish it all. but he was a teenager who enjoyed nothing more than spending time in his own imagination. He declared that he would enter his workshop and ignore the passing of time. It would be his mother who would finally advise him to stop and take a nap hours later. Nonetheless, he was motivated and genuinely enjoyed his work. In addition to being an incredible project, Billy truly liked working on it. As seen by all the minor details on the boat. Amidst all of this, his first post regarding the camper van he had repaired went viral, and people began raving about the gifted young man who was capable of such amazing feats. The tale was able to reach Mr. George Clark for his television program Amazing Spaces because to the power of the internet. It was a win-win situation for them both, since he wanted to have Billy on the show and Billy enjoyed showing off his works to the public. They came to film an episode on the canal boat he was currently working on, in addition to the camper van he had built. Billy gained a great deal of exposure and motivation from it. George Clark cherished his creations. Billy's art, he claimed, left him speechless, and he characterized the boy as a gifted but modest craftsman. High five from someone who is surrounded by beautifully designed, one-of-a-kind environments all the time. Billy needed all the confidence boosts he could get to keep working on the canal boat and see the project through to completion. There was a lot more work that needed to be done. He was pursuing a degree in carpentry and joinery at the same time as he was doing all of this work and realizing his goals for the canal boat. Billy's professor said that he was a gifted student, but he never truly bought into it. He continued to be modest while pursuing his education and the enormous undertaking of building a vacation house that is commuter-friendly. He also made the decision to launch a tiny company. He and Jane had discovered several unusual things that they were certain other people would like as a result of their search for all those special elements for the boat. Billy had the ability to mend and restore beauty to anything that was slightly damaged. Jane could take care of the business end of things, freeing him up to concentrate on the artistic. It was time to show the world the boat once all that effort had gone into making it. Would those who made fun of him be shown to be correct? Did he take a bigger mouthful than he could handle? It would be an enormous understatement to suggest that many were astonished by the outcome. Billy had converted the rusty old boat he had originally purchased into an exquisite and one-of-a-kind luxurious vacation canal boat. The boat's layout was designed with their comfort in mind. Even the kids' rooms were separate. Cabinets and other items were created new, and the wood was replaced. Nobody was laughing anymore, and it was breathtaking. The canal boat served as the family's own vacation home and gave them the opportunity to go across in elegance. But it doesn't mean Billy was done with them simply because they had a wonderful place to stay. He was just 16 years old when he received the Skill Build Prize. Since then, he has accomplished amazing things as a carpenter and won several other accolades. However, he has continued to be just as modest as ever. Even more amazing, Billy is now well on his way to realizing his dream of becoming a master carpenter after being accepted into the Institute of Carpenters. I appreciate you seeing. Come back soon for more amazing tales about role models. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.